Yo.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the Troll.
Feeling Healthy by Leaps and
Hello
Veiws.
and welcome to Mzansi Reality. We are back again. Hello. We're back again. It's that time of the night where we have to discuss everything that happened in court. I'm just going to let you flow, man. You're going to flow today. And just a reminder, guys, I know all of you have theories and certain theories, and those theories are theories. And that is that, guys. Can we just, it's just a, everything, keep it in this case. I know that people have a lot of things to say. They've wanted to say things for many years, some of them. And sometimes when you're watching this case, emotions can be touched, and then you want to come and vent your position in what is happening. But that being said, we still have to live, and on top of living, we still have to continue giving you this content and any other content.
Yes.
And again, I'm grateful to people that have been liking the video, making sure that they comment, and make sure that they comment in a sense that is, sometimes people want to say more. And I understand that.
Yeah, we
fully
understand.
But this is not the place, guys.
Yo.
Here we speak what is in public.
What is already
Public. There. And that's where we are limited. We are limited to that. We would like to speak more. We would like to say a lot of things about a lot of things that are happening.
That we had.
But that will need an army for you to be protected and be safe.
Yes,
because this is South Africa.
We did not need a legal team.
Also, you would need a legal team. Yes.
Content creators have got like legal offices where they go and consult before they release heavy content.
Yes.
They have to consult first. We don't have that privilege.
No. And we're not looking for that. That's why we say when you are here, you must have
decorum,
a third ear, third eye, everything. You must be able to read the code of conversation.
Yes.
And sometimes we say things without saying them.
Yes.
And that's the only way you stay grounded and happy in
safe.
South Africa.
Yes.
So we don't want to be in the position of having to not give you this content or even close the lines because of, no. We want to talk to you. As we do so, my Lord, please, let us stick to what we're talking about as much as we can link whatever, but just stick to that.
As long as it's not in the public
As long
eye,
as
it's not for us.
Keep it to yourself. It's yours. At least you can see certain things. I mean, that's good for me. That's good enough that you are capable of thinking, because that's all we're looking for. Thinkers, people who are thinking beyond what they see in this world. Because, I mean, you cannot survive in this world if you can only see what is in front of you. In a fallacy position, it's difficult to take informed decisions.
Very difficult.
So, one thing, Emil, if you were to prove that someone stole something at Shoprite in Pretoria, and that person says, I was in Shoprite in Johannesburg, how would you go on about proving that?
I would want the dates when this incident take place. Then I'll go to ShopRite and see what I can find. Start with the one that's closest to me. If I'm in Pretoria, go check the CCTV in Pretoria. And then go to the one in
They say you cannot find those things. And then this person changes and say, yes, I might have been in Pretoria, but in Diepsloot. And you know I am choosing Diepsloot. Diepsloot is almost between, but it's under Joburg. Yes, it's under Gauteng. I was in Diepsloot. and then the judge comes and say, what difference does it make? You were
It makes a difference.
he was in Diepsloot. I mean, it is meters away. You need to step maybe 3 or 4 times, and then you are in Pretoria. What difference does it make?
Makes a difference.
That's what I'm trying.
Exactly where it is.
That's what I'm trying to
so
say.
that I can exonerate or advise my client better.
That's what I'm trying to say. And
need
that's
to
what
know.
that's what this judge is doing. More so with Nis. The judge is not interested in hearing small details. Small details such as the body was not in the sitting room, as it was said. In fact, it was in the kitchen, closer to kitchen, more than the dining room. And then a person would just say, this person is tall. I mean, you can be in a sitting room while we are in. And the house is small. I know those houses are small, but come on, man. It's not like
How
that.
is that possible? That
It's
you
not
lie
like that.
in 2 rooms, 3 rooms at the same time.
It's not like that. As much as maybe once you stay in these houses where you would hardly see your wife, sometimes it confuses you how small these houses that we buy. Tina is a middle income earners, but I would like to believe that being in a passage doesn't necessarily mean that you are in a sitting room.
No, nor are you in the kitchen.
No, are you in
the
the kitchen?
passage.
You are in the passage. And that is not a mistake. It is something that is clear. So that statement of a joke that people always say it's a joke. You can put your foot here and in the kitchen and the other
while
one in the
you're
bedroom.
in the-
You see now where it's
Now
going.
it's catching up. Did it not catch up?
And it was a
today?
joke when it was said. It was a joke.
Somebody was listening while the judge made that joke.
So perhaps
They were going to testify, allegedly.
perhaps now we should talk about that. These jokes are not jokes. They don't look like jokes because eventually they are brought into arguments to defend a certain position. I don't know what position, but a certain position is being defended for me, what I'm seeing. If a person is like I cannot prove that my people were not there if I cannot prove that you are lying.
Yes.
I need to prove that we are lying. I need to prove that even such small thing as the toilet being on the passage, you are saying it's in the kitchen. It's a lie.
It means you are not telling the complete truth.
Yes.
And you need to be discredited for not being
And I'm happy that
transparent.
Nis called it out today to say that perhaps it seems as if a judge has taken a position of prima facie position of saying that no, this is not important. So therefore, how can, as I asked that question before, how can a judge then be expected to take a proper decision, a decision that is seemingly correct, whatever that was wrong at the time? If we are going to miss small things, you're not interested in knowing that, in fact, the body was in the kitchen. In fact, the shooting could have happened in the kitchen, not in the sitting room, not in the bedroom. Those are things that are very important. Because next thing someone's going to say they were wearing a green hood, and then the other one says we're wearing a yellow hood. It's okay. People see different. We know colors. We go to school. In fact, you go to school, they teach you about colors.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. We are not colorblind. Red is red. Yellow is yellow. If really you were to misunderstand the color, I would understand you saying yellow or orange.
Because they're a little bit closer.
That I can let go. But to say red and green, it's okay. What difference does it make? Does it prove that someone is not in the house?
No.
But it's okay. They
Needs to calm down.
we are hard. Hey, these judges.
We always
But
comment on the
I'm
judge
seeing-
too quick and
I'm
whatnot.
seeing a lot of things. I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't like, and meaning that
I'm nervous.
if Nisi
making
is
me
not
nervous.
mentioning these things, if Nisi is not finding a way of maneuvering around this hostile situation of being shut down, in a sense, it looks like that. It's allegedly looking like that. That's like a shutdown. You are being shut down. Don't ask that question. Then what should Mrs. use then as a way of proving that this is a lie? What should Mshololo use then as a way of proving that this is a lie? You can put it as 10 times, 20 times as you can that these people there was no intruder. But prove that. Some of these people who are testifying, they would even say, prove that. How are you going to prove it? How are you going to prove it if you cannot make them contradict each other? Because that is how you prove that there's something wrong in these people's statements.
So far, 2 witnesses from the house, 2 different stories.
Do you understand? But my worry now is that is the judge not even noticing that?
Oh, that's a question. I don't think so. I think he just wants to finish the case.
Because if you are saying it doesn't make any difference, whether kitchen, dining room, sitting room.
So it doesn't make a difference whether the people that were in the presence of the person
are contradicting each other.
Are contradicting each other. It doesn't matter.
It does seemingly does look like that. That it's like it's okay. It's okay. Let's say the defense, as we've been hard on them, saying that they need to prepare. Now they are preparing. Now they are not allowed platform of questioning. And I would understand Vaseline standing up now and then and objecting. But to see a judge even almost anticipating Vaseline to stand up with her hands, like that thing of, okay, honestly, where are you going with this?
You mean he was doing this?
Hey, before even Baloyi was up, just a movement of Baloyi, just the judge is already like, yes, exactly, whatever that is gonna say, exactly. No, man. I look, it's okay. Maybe it's my own view. That's what I'm seeing. And if you say that it's right, that's how law should be. That's how these people who practice should do. Well, I guess many people are going to jail then.
Yeah, especially
because
the ones
if a judge like that is sitting there who does not care whether it happened in Pretoria or between Pretoria and Diepsloot, which is under Gauteng, it doesn't matter. Icon. Obviously, it's my own
2 cents.
2 cents, and I'm seeing where I'm sitting. That's why I'm looking at. I'm like, it can't be like that. It's like we're not even given a chance to convince. For you to get in a relationship with a woman, you must be given a chance. Many brothers have failed because they were never even given a chance. They were shut down before they even talked. What do you want to say? Please, you don't normally get that woman to be your wife. You can shout as many times as you can. I love you, I love you, I love you. But you need to have a story.
You need to convince them.
But let's continue.
Present your case. So, Senzo Meyiwa's friend Mthokozisi Thwala was back on the stand today, and Baloyi continued with his cross-examination. He said, is it cross-examination? My apologies, not cross-examination. You describe what happened in 2017 during the identification parade in Pietermaritzburg. You testified that you pointed out someone who had similarities to the first person who entered the house. Thwala said yes. Reading from the ID parade form, and I quote, this is what the form said, looks like the one in front had a hat. Like the gun, he had the same features as well. He was present when Senzo Meyiwa was shot. So this is coming from that ID parade where Mthokozisi was saying that he pointed at a person and said he had similar features. He never said that it was that person. And then Baloyi asked, are you able to clarify that paragraph? Thwala said, as I explained, I was asked to have a look and asked if there is nobody I see. I then said, there is one who has similar features. They then asked me, which one is it? I then pointed out the person. After pointing, I saw them getting him closer and taking pictures. And immediately I called Ubaba. I said to the lead investigating officer, Gininda, and told him, I'm not saying it's him, but he has similar features to the one who was in the house. Gininda responded by saying that he does hear me and when I say it's not him. So what happened further after this identification parade regarding this matter? Asked Baloyi. Thwala said, I never heard anything. Nothing happened. I was not told anything up until my appearance now in court. Yeah, but the torturing of Joyce Buthelez's office happened in 2019. Why couldn't the incident of the ID parade come before the story of the 2019 office Joyce Buthelezi situation?
That's a good question.
So Baloyi then said, if we briefly revert to the incident in the house, you said when you were in the kitchen during the scuffle, you had a shot. Did you see who discharged the shot? And Thwala said, although I won't be able to say the scuffle was between Senzo and the person carrying the firearm, so whoever had the firearm is the one who shot. He did not answer this question, did he? Because the question is, did you see or not see who shot Senzo with your own eyes? You know, he doesn't want to answer that question, doesn't he?
You know, Emil, it is easy for people to say that the judge, okay, I'm here, I'm reading this. The judge is correct. The case here is putting the accused at the scene of the crime. If this is not found, all this hairstyle and head, etc., is just useless. Exactly. How do you put them in the crime scene? You even bring Ngumeni's pictures. If that is also not counting, then I mean that is head. That is head. How many times did we had threats? If you had to take decisions on that, you would say these people are guilty as charged.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So they had to say no. There's actually a picture of Ngumeni here. What difference does it make if there's a picture of Ngumeni? Then how are you supposed to defend then?
What is the end goal here?
I just don't understand. People always say these things. Maybe if you can elaborate further how you would do it, I don't know, elaborate further, because I still don't understand.
So Baloyi then said, did you see where the shot was discharged or struck? And Thwala said, no, I did not see. Was that the only shot that you heard? Thwala said 2. He had 2 shots. The second one was when he was on his way out. He was outside as he was about to pass the tap. Please note that before De Novo, as the first shot went off, he was already on his way out. He didn't mention a second shot. Now with De Novo, we've got 2 shots from Togo that he heard.
Yes. He said 2 actually even today.
Before De Novo?
Before De Novo, I don't remember how many, but today he said 2, right?
Before De Novo, he said 1. Now, today, he said
2.
So, yeah. Baloyi then asked, how many shots in total did you hear? He said 2. Can you describe the hat worn by the first suspect in the house? And Thwala is like, it's like a hat or a cap worn by the elderly. There comes the judge now. Are you saying it has a brim? It has a brim. Mr. Begicele puts on fedoras. Then Thwala was like, that is what I'm describing. Mshololo stood to object and said that she has a problem that the explanation of that head is not coming from the witness.
Hey.
And the judge said, no. He demonstrated it. He said Mthogo was demonstrating it. It's not coming from me. It's not me. Please, it's him.
Okay,
it's more or less what he's saying.
Let us just demonstrate how everything happened in the house without talking. Let's just point like as if we're showing guns and finish this testing. Because I mean, if you know why I have a problem with this thing. He is the one, as much as he's saying it, he is the one who's gonna come back and say, he never said that.
Yes.
Once you talk about that head, he's gonna be like, he never said that. I even said that, is it like Kele's head? You know? So he never said that, and then it's okay. That's why I'm Mshololo had to stand up and say, no, but let him say it.
Thank you, Mshololo. Thank you. That's all I can say. Then Thwala said, just like I said, it's like this and won by the elderly. So this alleged Nkabi that entered the house had a head on. Mr. Anonymous, I'm trying to paint a picture, right? Mm-hmm. Had a head on at this time. This was 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. Those people that are standing there accused are in their 30s, late 30s. Mm. So these people, when they committed the incident, allegedly, they were in their 20s. And a gentleman in his 20s is wearing a hat of the elderly to go and do a job.
And not only that, where they come from is Wanongom. Only now, if you say, he was wearing some Dope's hat, is it Dope's, that brand that Mthandeni likes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dope's,
yes. It will kind of make sense. You understand?
Now.
Yeah, now.
In 2014. But in 2014,
a person must have been living in a young body with an old mind.
Wes, you go commit a crime. You are holding a firearm and you're wearing a Dobbs of the elder. God, I'm trying to imagine.
Not a Dobbs, man. It's just a brand. But something that looks like that.
Something with a brim. Well, the judge said this record is useless unless if you can explain what he's demonstrating. Unless if you say, Mr. Mshololo, I'm wrong. And Mshololo was like, no, my lord.
We can never, you see, it's fear. You can never say he's wrong.
How can she say he's wrong?
Can you say that the judge is wrong?
She can't. Okay? Then Baloyi said, you mentioned alcohol refreshments were purchased at a nearby tavern. Did you partake of these? And Thwala said, yes, I did. Baloyi asked, what did you drink? Thwala said, Hunter's Gold cans, 330 or 340, the small ones. How many? Thwala said, I drank 2. The third was opened when the incident occurred. What was the state of sobriety when the incident occurred? And Thwala said, I was sober. Okay? Now, this is where I was like, Baloyi has included the sobriety in his examination. So, hint, hint, Advocate Mshololo, we don't need to dwell on this now. We move. They are not going to admit that they were drunk.
No.
Leave it alone. Then Baloyi asked, earlier on, you mentioned that Kelly's mother served you a meal. And Thwala said, yes. When you and Tumelo went out to smoke, for how long were you outside by the gate and tap? Thwala said, roughly 20 to 30 minutes. 20, 25, 30 minutes. Because even Senzo came out and they talked to him. Baloyi asked, when you were outside, did you drink any alcohol? Thwala said, no. Yesterday, you mentioned that you re-entered the house and took up the same position as before, and then the 2 people entered. After how long after re-entering the house did those 2 enter? And Thwala said, although I can't remember well, but it was not long. Baloyi asked, are you able to give a rough estimate when those 2 entered the house? Thwala said, I would be committing myself. Ngoba ngiyayibopha. That's what he said. I'm trying to remember how long the conversation lasted because Kelly was imitating dancing people, maybe 15 minutes because we were waiting for Senzo to say his goodbyes. Baloyi asked, you said the whole incident happened fast. Would you say how long the whole incident was? And Thwala said less than 5 minutes. Are you referring to the time the 2 suspects entered up until the time you entered the kitchen? Thwala said yes. Baloyi asked, how was the visibility at that stage when the incident happened?
So basically that 5 minutes is what I also wanted to know is it the whole incident happening until the end, 5 minutes.
He didn't get into that.
And I think that's where he was trying to get to. And I will tell you why.
Why?
Because there's a 15 minutes. First shot, the second shot, 15 minutes. That's where we see people with threats. That's in Tabi's testimony.
Tabi's testimony.
15 minutes. So that must have taken 15 or 20 minutes, this whole incident.
Gabo boguno popola.
And Mapopola would actually be sort of collaborating a bit of what Ntabi was saying.
So it's
too short. It's too short.
5 minutes. Then Baloy asked, how was the visibility at that stage when the incident happened? And Thwala said there was visibility, there were lights, and the TV was also on. Even the kitchen was bright. Mention has been made in these proceedings of a Netflix documentary produced by 1010 Films. Do you know anything about it? And Thwala said, yes. I was approached by Stain, Senzo's brother. Umbiza Stani. Senzo's brother. They got my numbers from Stain about the Netflix documentary that they would like me to be a part of. They wanted it to be about Senzo. So as a friend of Senzo, they were directed to me. They explained the reason for the documentary and that how it will help. And they told me they wanted to display Senzo's upbringing until he reached the PSL. And our friendship, because some of the Pirates players told them that the friend they knew about Senzo's, who used to hang out with him a lot, was myself. I refused to be a part of the documentary. To me, it wasn't a valid way or valid enough for me to be a part of the documentary. I had a bad experience before with the media. People asking me to be a part of something that will help Senzo, it ended up with me being the bad person. They approached my lawyer the second time. I refused. And then the third time, they came to my home. A lady, I think her name is Tabile or Tobile, she was pregnant at the time. She explained to me the documentary and that it would be one, it wouldn't be without me as Senzo's friend. But I didn't want to because it starts off great and then they start asking you about details of what happened in the house, of which I was not allowed to discuss. Now my question is, how come? The case was cold at the time that 1010 Films started approaching you. Who told you to never ever speak about what happened in the house?
I guess we would never know. I mean, this is a man who abide by the rules all of a sudden. Yeah, someone who abide by the rules, who plays by the book.
I mean, one would say that by the time 1010 Films was organizing all of this filming and stuff, you saw Bab Ngach on the documentary. He was so free. He spoke. And he gave us a glimpse of what happened. Not just him. A lot of people who were close to the situation who were able to be on camera and speak. They were speaking their versions that, you know, were more or less their stories. So why would you have a problem? Because at the time, the case was indeed cold. There was public outcry. People were asking.
That's why it's called a cold case.
Yes, people were asking what happened to the Senzo Meyiwa case. And you didn't want to tell the public that was so concerned what happened on that day. I find it very strange, but anyway, it is what it is. But Loy said, did you ever participate in the making of that documentary? And Thwala said, no. You mentioned that you once had a bad experience with media about Mr. Senzo Meyiwa. What are you referring to? And then Thwala said there was a time when Stain, Senzo's brother, approached him with Ubuti named Soweto Madlanzi, who asked to be a part of a book about Senzo. Now, Senzo's father was still alive at the time. They fetched Mthogo with Senzo's father. He explained to him that the book was not going to be completed without him. he asked me to be a part of it, even though he knew it was difficult because I was like a son and Senzo was like a son at my home. I ended up agreeing after speaking to Senzo's father, even though I told him that in the end, Senzo had other friends. It shouldn't seem like it was just me who was Senzo's friend. No, Mtho. You were Senzo's friend. Not only were you Senzo's friend, but his final moments alive were spent with you.
Yes.
There are many other friends we both knew. I even gave him names of those friends. So now he's painting a picture that Senzo was everyone's friend, not just his friend. And he didn't spend...
Yet he was going to stadium when it benefited him, when it was all good, probably getting free tickets and now and then. And it's a shame that you cannot, in times like this, come back to see and maybe restructure and redo everything differently. If you had two lives like a cat, many lives, you would come back and actually, I'm sure you would do things differently. I mean, in all honest, you would choose your friends differently, even your girlfriends differently, concubine differently.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of things that you do different, but unfortunately, you don't get to reach that, or you don't get you don't live to tell and see or even change such things. Now, this is when you need your friends.
All in all, he says, I did the documentary, but the things that I was asked by Soweto and the things I mentioned all of a sudden had changed in the book, even though I did not say some of the things, and I knew that they were said by other people, and it was not like that. I drafted that from chapter 1 up until the final chapter. I underlined key points, and apparently this book had 10 chapters. So he's saying that he went through the entire book and underlined key points that he said were wrong, and he said were said by me, and the ones he said were said by other people. So correcting him on that and telling him to fix it before the book is published. So before De Novo, remember he said with the book, or with regards to this book, he only had problems with the dates that were mentioned. Now, De Novo, he had a problem with a lot of things. In fact, Mtagaba, he was reading that book for 2 days, going through it and underlining.
He was doing a Valoy examination on that book.
He said, because I could see the public was going to have wrong information. Well, in my opinion, it did not make much of a difference, okay? Because some of us have not read that book, but already we can tell and we can pick up the inconsistencies in your testimony.
Without even having to read that book.
No. But he ended up not doing it. He said that he would do it. He could hear me and ended up not doing it. So he's saying Soweto Madlanzi agreed that he will change those things, but ended up not changing them. The book ended up being published without those things being rectified, for which he says I saw.
Is it me though? I'm sorry, Emil. Is it me, or this is just the habit of these people who were in the house? They blame everyone but themselves. Even Senzo is not safe from that.
Yes.
They blame him
blame
for certain
also.
things when it suits them.
Yes.
They blame the police who were writing the statements.
Yes.
They blame inconsistency is pointed to other people, but
Yes.
not them. No one will say, no, here I made a mistake. I made a blunder. Can I correct that?
No, they don't take accountability for nothing. It's everyone's fault. But now they are victims, remember. They are innocent.
They've taken a position of being the victims, not
Yes.
the person who was shot in that house.
Yes. He said, for which I saw that on his part he was wrong, that the book, it took me 2 days to read through it. The 4th day I sent him all that, and it was in January, and the book was going to be published at the end of the month on February. So to me, I was noticing a little bit of some things. Like, are you noticing how in these unnecessary parts of Mthoko's testimony that really have nothing to do with the incident itself, he doesn't stop him from saying that was hearsay. This is hearsay. I was like, where's the hearsay? Because right now you are speaking on behalf of Soweto and he's not there in court to testify for himself.
You've
It's like
painted a narrative.
You've brought another case within Senzo's case. That had nothing to do with Senzo. Senzo was gone by that time. You are the one who took the decision to sit down with an author. He wasn't there. It had nothing to do with Senzo. Why are we hearing all of this?
We are going to hear when it suits them.
He ended up not doing that. I opened a case against him for that. I saw no reason to be part of the Netflix documentary, no matter how much they lured me or asked me. Then Baloyi said, you spoke about an assault that was perpetrated on you. Did you take any steps? And Thwala said, yes. I opened a case against Buthelezi and Makubo. A case against police is taken to IPID. IPID came once to my workplace to take my statement. They were also shocked when I told them what happened. Up until now, nothing has happened. And he said, my lawyer, Mr. Rogers, contacted them last year. As I was informed, the case was in another investigating office and they were never told, and they never told me. That does not sit well with me because it means the police are controlling us. Oh, poor Mthogo. Oh, Skepsel.
All is wrong, man. All is wrong.
Oh, we saw.
The beating, the everything, everything.
Course. Then Baloyi said, you mentioned Senzo Meyiwa. Did you see him after the deceased was shot? And Thwala said, yes, many times. Can you briefly describe the circumstances? And Thwala said Senzo passed on a Sunday. Stan arrived in Johannesburg on Tuesday. He was supposed to arrive with his father, so the father had a lot of things to do in Durban.
As usual, after losing your son,
There's a lot of admin.
as a head of that house, you need to remain home so that they find you.
Yes. He came with Bongani. We have a friend called Bongani Mlangeni. I remember we fetched them from the airport with the company of police because Senzo was moved from Butsilong to a government mortuary in Germiston. We left for Germiston to identify Senzo's body. Now, guys, did Senzo not have a medical aid? And if he did, why was he not taken to a private hospital?
What is Butsilong? Is that public?
I think so. Is it a private or a government hospital? Because I'm hearing he was taken to a government mortuary.
If you have medical aid, you go to private mortuary.
I don't know.
No,
You also go to a government one.
I don't think.
Don't
it
they
is.
keep you in the hospital until your family comes?
No, come on.
So I'm wondering if he had medical aid. I mean, like, can
What
you
does
imagine-
medical aid do with that?
No, after the incident, like running to a private hospital.
Let us check if Butsilong is not a private hospital.
Okay, please check for me. Then Baloyi asked, thank you for that. That will be sufficient. You mentioned that you made a statement on Monday. Did you make any other
is.
after?
It is private hospital.
So Butsilong is a private hospital.
Yes.
Okay. So Baloyi asked
Oh,
how
but
many.
it's in Soshanguvo, this one.
Oh my God. Find the proper one in Foslorus. Baloyi asked how many. Then Thwala said many. I made many. Then Baloyi asked, was it explained to you why you had to make all these statements? And he said, I don't remember.
Yeah, they are
because
saying
the
it's
police-
private hospital.
Okay, it's a private hospital,
Yes.
thank God. Then they said, I don't remember because the police officer were changing all the time. They would say it's no longer in Foslores. It's somewhere else, handled by someone else. So they had to start over to know who I was and ask me questions. There are many. Then Baloyi asked, these are the only aspects we wanted to take up with the witness. And he finished with his examination. Sipora Mosipele began his cross-examination on behalf of accused 1 and 2. And it was a long one, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It was a long cross-examination.
Okay.
Ramusipili started off by saying, On the 25th of October, you spent a night at Senzo and Kelly's place in Malbatten. And the people that slept at that place were yourself, Senzo, Kelly, and Zandi. Before you went to bed, were you accompanied by other people in that house? And Thwala said yes. Ramasipili said, explain the circumstances around you meeting those people and if you knew them and their agendas. And Thwala said there was a male and a female. I never interacted with them and they left.
What was the need of saying that? Why do you feel the need of... You know, there are things that Mthogo would say and then you'll ask yourself, why do you need to say that before you even ask a question about that?
Ramasipili asked, was the male person you saw that night Longwe? Thwala said, I don't recall. If it was him, I would have remembered because I saw him the next day. As I said, he was at a distance from me. Ramasipili said, let's now move to the incident, the 26th of October, 2014. You said in that morning on that day, you, Kelly, Senzo Meyiwa, and Zandile were supposed to go to a party of Roy Mahomota's. You said you didn't arrive at the venue of Roy Mahomota's party. Zandi Kumalo told this court, you went to the venue where the go-karting was going to be as part of Roy Mahomota's party. And when you got to that party, Senzo got out of the car and said preparations were not ready. And you all went to Dorothy Nyembe Park. Thwala said, I don't know what Zandi's saying. Isn't it funny how Mthogo's version was saying what Zandi's version said before Dinov?
Yes.
Guys.
Yes.
Like, I am baffled. The confidence to contradict yourselves. So nice in South Africa, eh?
You know what doesn't make
that
sense is
under
how
oath thing does not mean nothing.
Yes, after being under oath, then de novo you come
can
back.
Still come back.
You can say, actually, I was not even there, by the way.
I come down to South Africa. That under oath thing, putting your head on a Bible, that means nothing.
Nothing.
It means nothing, honestly speaking. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, we never reached the party. As I said, we went to a mall, to a Wimpy and bought food. We left from Wimpy and drove back to Soweto. We never reached the venue of the party.
Okay.
Then Ramasipili said, you said at the Dorothy Nyembe Park you were made to sit in a VIP tent. In that VIP section, did you drink alcohol? Thwala said no. Now your testimony is that after Kelly Kumalo and Zandi Kumalo finished their performances, they then decided to leave Dorothy Nyembe Park and you drove to your hometown, Katlehong. What was the purpose of that? And Thwala said it was because I was still wearing the same clothes from yesterday. I was going to remain behind. After some time, Senzo calls you to inform you that they are going to fetch Tumelo Madlala. Then Thwala said he phoned me and asked me where I was. I told him I was at home. Then he told me to change. He told me over the phone about Tumelo. After how many minutes did you call? Thwala said it was very quick, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. What is the nature of your relationship with Tumelo? He said, I wouldn't say he is my friend. I know him through Senzo. We had each other's numbers, but we wouldn't meet if Senzo was not there. Ramasipili then asked, you said Makumalo and Zandi were using Tumelo's crutches to hit the intruders. Tumelo had an injury. What was the nature of the injury? Thwala said, I don't recall well, but it wasn't a major injury. I think he was injured at work. I think it was on the big toe. He could walk without crutches. After fetching Tumelo, you went to Vosloorus. Thwala said we passed by somewhere else before going to Vosloorus. They passed by somewhere else before going to Vosloorus. Lorraine said what?
They went to Vosloorus.
So you went to buy alcohol before Makumalo's place. Then Zandi Kumalo testified that you proceeded to her house first, then realized you didn't have drinks and then you went to buy. Thwala said, I don't recall it like that. Ramasipili then said, we only saw in court photos a tin of Heineken, a can of Heineken and Guarana, but you said you drank Hunter's Gold. Thwala said, yes. How many quantities of Hunter's Gold were bought for you? Thwala said, 6. The phone records say Longwe Thwala arrived at 1857, correct? Thwala said I would say it was that time. Like I said before, the game was already finished. It was getting dark.
Whoa. Here, it's something is not right here. You see, you remember us arguing about that 4?
The game.
Yeah, and soon later, people who were in England, they told us that game actually started at 6.
Yes, South Africa.
And when we check in real, the kick-off was at 6. So, when the SMS came, it was 6 according to +2, Mr. +2.
2-7 actually.
3 minutes to 7. So that game was on a half-time break. Not done. It couldn't have been done around that time.
No, it wasn't.
It was a half-time. And in fact, in their testimonies, when they went for smoke, before Dinovo thing to me,
Yes.
it was halftime.
Yes.
No game was done.
Ramasipili said, what was Longwe Thwala's demeanor when he got to Makumalos? Thwala said, I didn't know Longwe, so I'm in no position to describe his demeanor. I was seeing him for the first time. I'm asking this in context of we as Africans, whether you know a person or not, the first thing that you will do when you enter a house is to greet. Your testimony from yesterday, you said you don't remember Longwe greeting you, but you remember that him and Senzo were greeting each other. Then Thwala said, yes, you are right. I personally did say that I don't remember him greeting. I saw him and Senzo greeting each other, and I asked Senzo who he was. Did Senzo give his name, and did he also give his relation to a certain person in the house? Thwala said he told me, and even told me he was Zandi's guy. He even sat next to Zandi, and then I proceeded to minding my own business. Ramasipili asked how long after Longwe's arrival did the 2 suspects enter the house. Thwala said a lot happened after Longwe arrived. I wouldn't be able to say. We were able to go outside and smoke. Longwe was inside the house when we were outside. Okay. I have questions here.
Do ask them.
So he's saying that when they were inside the house, when they were outside the house, Longo was inside the house. When did they leave?
Who leaves?
Dumelo and Togo.
To smoke?
Yes.
There, well, if you get there, it's not clear.
It's
there is
not,
mist there because I guess it's not important, as the judge would say.
Ramasipili then asked, you said first suspect carried a firearm. Was it immediately on entry that he pointed it at the people in the house? Thwala said, I saw it was a firearm, not it was pointed directly at anyone. He swerved. I don't know how to describe it. A whole nkabi swerving a firearm. So what is to swerve? Am I doing it correctly, guys? Swerve. You know, at the time you saw him, he was standing next to the heater. Thwala said yes. At any stage did he point it at the people in the house? Thwala said, like I already said, he was pointing it at no one. I don't think he would have pointed it at 6 people at once.
You see where I have a problem with this law? If you are coming to testify, you are here to give your version. What you remember.
What you saw.
What you saw. The statement of a game being done was not requested. It was never asked whether the game was done or the game was still playing. The person felt a need
to share that.
And You must not look at that. It's immaterial. That's nonsense.
He was swerving. He was not directly pointing at anyone, but I was able to see the gun on the right. Ramosipile asked in which hand was the firearm, and Thwala said the right. In what language did he use when he demanded money and cell phones?
Zulu suit.
That one, let me explain. Because it's going
Once
too
they
far.
say, let me explain, they are lying.
that it's going too far. The person who entered the house wanted money and cell phones in English, but in saying it, he said it in isiZulu, Sotho. But where I'm going is that when I'm including the Sotho language, it was because it happened in Johannesburg.
Why are you explaining
I'm
things
not
off?
saying he was speaking in Sesotho. I'm just saying that isiZulu of someone from Umlazi and the isiZulu from someone from Enkandla or Ngutu and the person from Katlehong, it is not the same Zulu language though. And then Ramasipil is like, is it a matter of accent? And Thwala is like, it's a matter of pronunciation.
Oh.
You can say that.
Oh. Kandi, where are we from? So we are from... Oh, okay. Okay.
Togo.
All right.
Bombastic side eye. That's all I can say. Bombastic side eye. Okay? You are sticking to the Zulu Sotho thing of yours and you are seeing that you need to get ahead because the last time you were entangled on it and there was no way out. But now it's de novo. You polished up your... Ramasipele then said, besides the words money and cell phones, did he use any swear words? And Thwala said no. Ramasipele asked about the tone. Was it aggressive, loud tone? Thwala said, I would say between aggressive and soft tone.
I like the
What
way he
the
answers
hell
this
is
guy.
that?
He's always in between, you know. And I mean, why not?
What is that?
You have a judge that can take that. You must be in between the complexion, between the tone, everything, even the gun, you must be in between. There must be a rifle plus, which would make a revolver.
Aggressive and soft tone. What is that? Ramusipile then asked, did anyone in the house respond verbally to that demand? And Thwala said no. When you saw the firearm, you realized it was serious. Were you scared? Thwala said yes. You testified that you entered into a trauma mode and you were shocked as well. Thwala said yes. And as the events were transpiring or were happening at lightning speed, Thwala said yes. Had you previously seen these suspects that entered the house prior to the incident? Thwala said, no, I don't know them. I saw them for the first time. And yeah, from which angle did you see the firearm? From where the first suspect was standing relative to where you were sitting on the couch? Did you see the front or side of the firearm? And Thwala said, I would say I saw a little bit on the front. So was his hand not swerving?
So guys, before we swerve, can we please like the video and subscribe? Can we please like the video? We're on 736 people. Can we please like the video? Today, I'm not going to be answering a lot of people.
I'm trying to imagine it, Mr. Anodin. What does he mean, swerving? I don't understand that part.
It's like you, like pointing anyone in the house, I guess. Moving your hand, like number 1 to number 2.
So Ramusipile then said, do you recall the color of the firearm? Thwala said no, and yet it was swerving.
Yep.
What were you doing before they entered? Thwala said, I was watching Kaylee. She was doing a dance move of a certain church. You did not see the first suspect enter. You only saw him when he was behind Kaylee. And the second suspect, when did you initially see him? After the first time. Then Thwala said, at the time we got up and I went to fetch my phone. When I took my phone, I also noticed that there was a second person at the time. They were pushing each other towards the kitchen. Where did you see the second suspect? Thwala said, by the ark, between the ark and the room Kelly ran into.
You know the theory of average. For those who who did stats or maths, the
Yes.
theory of average.
In the middle.
It's always in the middle. Like that's an approach, and you know why I'm mentioning this. I feel like that's an approach the judge is taking.
In the middle.
A theory of average, and Mthogo is taking that approach too. A theory of average. There's a person who's 80 years, the other one is 20. You divide that, what do you get? 50. So the average age is 50.
Or isn't it 40?
Or
It's 40.
if it's 80 plus 20, that's 100. Divided by 2, that's 50. The answer is partially correct.
It's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just in between.
Squeeze theorem, eh? What is on the right and on the left and what is in between? Those things, if they squeeze together, they are equal.
Yeah. Ramusipile then said, "Did you see the second suspect pursuing Kaylee?" Thwala said no. In his cross-examination, he said he saw the second suspect pursuing Kaylee. Did he not? In his examination with Advocate Baloy.
I think he said that.
So now he's saying no, he didn't see. Did he see my post on the community tab?
No. He did not say that. He did not say that. I
What is
remember I
happening?
asked it yesterday that what was happening then, because he does not position this man anywhere else. Kerry ran. He said Kerry ran. That's it. So the chasing happened under Mapopola.
Mapopola.
Yes.
Ramusipile then says Zandile Kumalo testified that the second suspect ran after Kaylee. Then Thwala said, "I won't say much about that. I don't know. Let's go and talk about us outside. Was it light or was it dark?" Mthogo said it was not dark. He would not imagine them standing in a dark place. Ramusipele then asked, "Am I going to press you on that one?" "I'm going to press you on that one. You know what a knife looks like?" Thwala said, "Yes." "That object you saw, was it a knife or not?" Thwala said, "A knife." Remember how before Dinovo he didn't want to be specific. But now he says it's a knife. Then Ramusipele asked, "In which hand was the knife in?" Thwala said, "I don't remember." "How far was he when you observed the knife?" Thwala said, "I won't be able to say. At the time he followed me, I kept looking back, and after I jumped the concrete, you could see that he also wanted to jump the concrete, but he didn't jump. I could see it even there that he was holding a knife." Ramusipele then said, "What did he do with the knife during the incident?" And Thwala said, "I don't know what he was doing. As I said, I saw number 2, but I didn't focus on him. I don't know what he did or didn't do with the knife." Ramusipele then asked, "Did the second suspect say anything during the incident?" Thwala said, "No, nothing. I don't remember."
Okay.
During the entire incident, did the first and the second suspect communicate amongst each other? Then Thwala said they didn't speak to each other because they were also not speaking to each other. So
Yeah.
he's saying the people in
So-
the house
so
were
the-
also not speaking.
The noise that these people heard, they must have been hallucinating the neighbors.
Yeah,
it was
the
just
neighbors.
it was just a silent fight,
It
like
was-
like silent
Ipi
fight.
crutch.
Give me that crutch, like
No, there's
Silent.
no
wow. Then you say, "I will be a judge and sit and preside over that, and give a judgment. I not against you. No way."
The description of the two suspects who came into the house, the first suspect, was his height and what was his height and complexion? Thwala said, "I won't be able to give his height. He was not tall, he was not short. He was not dark, nor was he light. Just in between. In between when Lala. Ramusipele asked, "Is it coffee color?" Thwala said, "Coffee is too dark. Maybe cappuccino." And then he laughed. I'm like, hey, jokey.
He's enjoying
He
himself.
was a comedian today. Cappuccino.
Again, that's a middle of what is black and what is white. No, serious. Just point, everything is in the middle. I'm telling you, I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
No extreme part. There's always a middle part.
The judge said the witness is right. Then Mthogo said, you are going to make me be on TikTok.
That was supposed to be a joke. Continue.
I didn't find it funny.
Obvious.
Ramasipile then said, what about his facial features? And Thwala said he had high cheeks, a chin. Eyes were not big or small, just average. His chin was longish. It was long. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, these features, they keep changing. Do you know we didn't have a longish chin?
No, the thing is, eventually, everyone is gonna have to hand themselves in as a suspect, because I'm telling you what is happening here. It's, I don't know.
Before Dinovo, guys, we didn't have a longish chin. Now we have a long.
Let's continue.
Ramasipele said, what was he wearing? Thwala said, a jacket jersey. A jacket jersey. Now, what is that? What is a jacket jersey? Ramasipele then said, you and I can say you cannot describe the second suspect. The only thing you identified was the hoodie. Is that correct? Baloyi objected and said, I don't think that's correct. He also described the height. Like it makes a difference. Like it makes a difference. Does it make a difference? Then Ramasipele then said, what was the height of the second suspect? Then Thwala said, tall. Ramasipele said, the color of the hoodie. Thwala said, although I can't remember properly, but it was a dark color. A dark is not a color. What color is dark? How was he wearing the hoodie? Did it cover his head or not? Thwala said it was covering his head. That is how I saw that he was wearing a hoodie. Ramasipele asked, would it be fair to say you can't identify the second suspect? Thwala said, I did say I won't be able to. You testified Longwe pushed the first intruder. Where on the body did Longwe push the first intruder? Then Thwala said, I won't be able to show you where after 9 years, but he pushed him. Was it on the torso or the upper body? Then he said the upper body. Ramasipele then asked, when Longwe stood up, what position was the firearm in the hand of the first suspect? Thwala said, I won't be able to say, but he was carrying the firearm. This is evasive, guys. This is evasive. Like I can't get the picture. I can't. He said the right hand. He was certain that he was holding the firearm on the right. Now he Ramasipele then said, where did he push him to? Thwala said, towards the wall. What happened to the first suspect as he's pushed to the wall? Does he trip and fall? Does he stumble back? Thwala said, I would say when you are pushed, you lose your balance a bit. But I wouldn't say because after he pushed him, everyone stood up.
In many parts of that state of that cross-examination, he gave most of what he thinks.
Yes.
Not what he saw.
So.
At least witness, he was compelled to give what he saw. And once you ask for that, then you see the defense on the other side.
Yeah, objecting like there's no tomorrow. As everyone got up, I was unable to see as Senzo was next to me. Ramasipele asked, before long, where Thwala pushed the first suspect, where was the second suspect? He said, I think he was behind him, because at the time when he pushed him, I didn't see. Ramasipele asked, before long, where pushed him, did you hear any cocking of a gun? Thwala said, no. Who initiated the approach to the first suspect? Thwala said the scuffle started between Senzo and the first intruder. Number 2, I noticed them late that there was a second intruder. When the scuffle started, do you personally what did you do, you personally? And Thwala said, I got up, I took my phone from the TV stand next to the TV. These people want phones, I guess.
Like, this guy had time, bro. Like, everything to him was happening in slow motion. Like, people are fighting for their lives. There's someone allegedly in the house. You see almost everything. Like,
You take your phone.
Like Mapopola also. And then, instead of actually going to fight and assisting your people there, you move, like you take your phone, you put it in the pocket, and then you start going there. You wait for the right time, because when there's a bang, and then Senzo is coming across you, coming inside, there are two people with weapons by the door of the kitchen, in the kitchen that is very small. Basically, almost standing on your way out. You push them out, you run. And then they realize, oh, we just let him go. We need to chase him. And you are not chased by the one that had a gun to actually take you down. You are chased by the one that had to be closer to you conveniently. It just doesn't make sense.
It's a mess. That's all I can say. Then Thwala said, I went towards the kitchen where I met Christian. The scuffle starts within the sitting room. Thwala said, yes. Just describe the action you call a scuffle between Senzo and the first intruder. Thwala said, by scuffle, I mean that there was a confrontation between Senzo and that person. They pushed each other, and they pushed each other towards the kitchen. So the question here is, who overpowered who? To be more specific. Who pushed who? Who was doing most of the pushing?
I guess then the intruder, because they were overpowered, because they were pushed from their initial position to a position of that is compromising them.
So is it only Senzo that was pushing the first suspect to the kitchen? Or there are other people in
Senzo is
Thwala said, I wouldn't say that the others were helping, but everyone ended up getting into what was happening towards the kitchen, because when I took my phone and looked behind me, I could not see what was happening. I took the phone and I put it in my pocket. Senzo and Tumelo got up. Did you participate at any stage in that scuffle with intruders? Thwala said no.
Look at that. So this guy had all the time waiting for people to fight for him. And then they did. And when they are running back towards him, other one going to the toilet to kneel down and popola, other one running to the bedroom that couldn't open inside, the other one running back to whatever hole they came from when they were dancing. From there, they came back and assisted, and then they went in. And Mthokozisi is chilling.
He's chilling with his
You
phone
know,
in
Kelly
his
comes
pocket.
out of the bedroom where he ran initially to go and assist the family. Mthokozisi is chilling, waiting for the right time. And the right
His
time,
mama is busy with the crutches.
and
Yeah,
the right
he's chilling.
time, and the right time is not when what do you call it? When they're still fighting, no one is noticing Mthokozisi. No. The right time is when actually what do you call it? When everything has dispersed, then you make your action, you make your move.
Yeah.
You know, if he said maybe I broke the other door on the sitting room and went out, I could have bought that. I could really have bought that and said, yeah, this man obviously didn't want to be on that
wanted a
scaffold.
way out.
He wanted the way out. But one door.
And you still have to bypass people with weapons.
It's like when you are
Two
walking,
people with
you're not even
weapons.
running. I'm sure you walk to your phone, you pick it up, you put it on your pocket. You still remembered your phone, by the way.
Was looking for a
And
way
then
out.
you hold this young boy of Jup Jup. Thank God you were there. And you put him
What a
aside.
hero.
What a hero. That's the only thing you do. And then you wait. You wait like New Zealand players of rugby. Just
so
for
you
that
can get
chance.
out.
So that you can sprint. And then they just open a small part for you. Small part. Because, I mean, looking at that thing, the door is, you are almost standing at the door.
Yes.
and there are two people standing there, and then you move out. Same way like your fellow friend, your fellow brother Thwala did. You just out.
Then he just
At least then you pushed.
He just pushed.
When you don't push,
and a
when?
person with a gun just said, "Oh," just stood there.
Wow. Must have been.
Guys, the story cut. I'm actually tired of it.
It must have been a movie, man.
Cut. Where
Only
is
in
the second
India.
suspect involved in the scuffle?
Only in India you would see that. Indian movies. Maybe a bit of Chinese movies.
The ones that are heavily edited.
Yeah.
With people. Thwala then said, I think he met them at the passage as people are pushing towards the kitchen. You are also going to be pushed in that direction. Really now? So according to how I think, because I don't know, I was not in the one pushing. As this pushing is happening, the first and the second suspect are still armed with a firearm and a knife. Thwala said yes. He was not able to tell whether Zandi and her mother were assaulting suspect number 1 or suspect number 2, but all he knew is that they were hitting the suspects with the crutches. Now, this was interesting. Then Ramasipili said, you said you heard a gunshot going off. Thwala said, yes. Then there was a separation of everyone as we were shocked. There was a separation. That's how you got a chance, right? Because this separation had to happen. Your version is that you ran out of the house, and as you ran out, you crossed paths with Senzo as he ran into the house. Do you know whether or not Senzo Meyiwa had been shot by that first gunshot that went off? And Thwala said no. Was anyone stabbed in the house in that scuffle? As you said, the second suspect had a knife. Thwala said no. In that scuffle, were they fighting back? Thwala said, I think that they were also trying in a way that they were trying to protect themselves. They wouldn't just stand when they were getting hit with crutches. Even though I won't say that they were doing it because Senzo is a huge guy, buff. Mthogo said he didn't know that Babu Ngache passed on because this was announced to him by Ramasipili. He just found out today in court. So Ramasipili said, Kaya Ngache testified about your interaction. He said in his room he had a noise or commotion from the Kumalos and looked through his bedroom window to see what was happening. He could see the person with a white t-shirt with their back against the kitchen window. He had the breaking of a porcelain. Porcelain is the material that makes plates, these ceramic plates and stuff, right? On the floor. As they were about to leave the door, they noticed you in their yard. He was armed with an iron bar and ready to strike, but you told him that you are not the one to be accused. Exactly what did you say to him? Thwala said, firstly, I love Kaya for coming here to testify because there's something he said in relation to what I have said. Number 2, he is telling the truth that when I jumped, he did not trust who I was. I mentioned my name and surname and with whom I was there with. I did mention we were being robbed. In me saying that, he showed that he believed me because he never wanted to continue hitting me. I even pointed the tall one going down the road.
And Kaya said he never saw anyone. They ran until the end of the park. There was no one.
200 meters.
No one.
Ramasipili then said, he says, you only said there was a big problem in the house and didn't expand. Thwala said, that's what he said. I think you're also hearing what I'm saying. And that you didn't spend a long time talking to him immediately after explaining you jumped back into the Kumalo yard. Thwala said, no, I never jumped back into the Kumalo yard immediately. I jumped back after hearing the screams that Kelly's mother was getting out. So at least he had screams. Akfan. He wanted to jump back with you, but his father stopped him And Thwala said, I remember that he was the person that helped me when we were inside the house. I had just entered the house. Ramasipele then asked, as you jumped back into the Khumalo home, where was Longwe's red polo? Thwala said it was there. It was outside. Did you see him? No, I did not see him, Thwala said. Did you see a Honda Balade? The one Tabiseng Mokete and her friend were sitting in. Thwala said, I didn't take note.
So, since the cars were parked inside the yard, then when you moved Senzo, who moved the polo?
And how?
And how?
Ramasipili asked, did you ask Ngatjes to call the police or the ambulance? Thwala said, I don't remember saying that to them. I was in shock. I just mentioned that what was happening in the house. Did they see him, the second suspect? Mthogo said, I don't know. Maybe you should have asked him since he was here. Was mean, rude. As you are talking to them, did you tell them that that was the first suspect that was still in the house? And Thwala said, no, I don't remember saying. Ramasipele on Thwala's statements, he made 4 statements to the police. He said Thwala made 4, but he will touch only on 2. Right? Then this statement by Steve Pakule was dated 28th of October 2014. But you said that you gave your statement on the 27th, the day after the incident. And Thwala said police wrote that. You can ask them. He says he went to Vosloorus. From there, he went to the police station. Then went to Kelly's place at Malberton on that day, the 27th. So in what language was the statement taken? He said English. Talking, I wouldn't remember, but maybe it was a mixture of English and Zulu. He said he's not fluent in Sotho and he wouldn't know. He doesn't remember how the statement was taken. Ramasipele then asked, were you the one narrating the story? Thwala said yes, and the officer would write. Ramasipele was asking him, was the document read back to you? Thwala said, from the statements I disposed, some were read back to me, others were not. I think here it was read back to me because it was the first one. I'm not sure, maybe. Ramasipela asked if he could read the entire statement into the record, and then the judge was still in his feelings that he does not want to interfere with counsel. He was told that he's giving evidence when he explained about the brim.
Well, you are giving evidence.
This was so petty.
Yeah, Vel is giving evidence.
This was so petty. And the judge advised for him to tackle the aspects. Okay. Sunday 2014, 10/26, one of Mthokozisi's statements, he said, I was with Senzo, and then I came back from Soweto at 16:30 and went to Katlehong where I wanted to change my clothes. So you mentioned in court that the reason you went to Katlehong was so Senzo could drop you off. Thwala said there is nothing written that is out of context in that statement. It's the same thing that he testified in court. Ramasipili then said, in one of the statements, Thwala said the first suspect swore on entry, Fotek, cell phones and money. But in court, he said that the intruder never used swear words. Thwala, yet again, he said, I did say I don't remember the word Fotek. Ramasipele says, Thwala said in that statement that Zandi's boyfriend Longwe jumped and grabbed the firearm, but used the word push in court. Thwala said a subsequent statement was made to rectify that. I said push, it was rectified. Isn't it funny how this statement was a lot more fresher from the incident, and now it has been rectified? It's very interesting. Ramasipele then said the statement was made when the incident was still fresh in your mind. And Thwala said you can say that. Then Senzo jumped in as well, quoting from the statement, and they started assaulting the suspects, screaming at the same time. At that moment, I grabbed Christian, Kelly's child, from the kitchen to the sitting room so that he doesn't get hurt. Close quote. Did Senzo join into the assault by Longwe Thwala? Thwala said, I don't think that was in the statement. Where does Longwe fit in the statement? Perhaps it was me. I used the wrong word, assault. What I meant was scuffle. He never grabbed the firearm. When the shot went off, it was in the kitchen. You are a very brilliant person. That's what Ramosipili said. You correct an editor 10 chapters over 2 days. Yes, sir. I did that in 2 days. I corrected him because he was talking about me. That's why I correct him. Not because I'm brilliant. You are very brilliant, Ramosipili repeated. Take the credit I'm giving you. I'm giving you one. At the ID parade in Pietermaritzburg, when you saw that somebody with similar features was taken and you didn't want to falsely implicate somebody, you took it up and corrected it then with the IO, investigative officer. Yeah, even the incident with Miss Joyce Buthelezi when she wanted to put words in your mouth, you stood your ground. The point I'm raising is this. You put your signature on the statement. You wouldn't agree to sign it because with this statement that you are now distancing yourself from. So the only statement that he's distancing himself from that I felt was the first one that he did freshly after the incident. So Thwala said, what I'm going to say is that prior to the passing away of Senzo, I have never written statements. I have never been in a situation that I'm in right now. That is why I'm now more alert. Then Ramosipili read in a statement where Thwala said that the neighbors jumped into the Kubalo home with him. That's not what Kaya Ngache said. He said he didn't jump into the yard with you. So Thwala said that's what Kaya is saying. I'm also saying that from the statement. Then they read another statement from Shibiri. And Mthogo said that it was taken at the beach. He said he was working at mass grave. All the statement he has done, he was narrating, and he had never been given like a statement where he wrote himself. He says he doesn't remember who Shibiri is, but he remembers the beach. Ne? Ramosipili quoted from a statement that Thwala disposed, and I quote, it said, the suspect was wearing a hoodie, and the hoodie was covering his head, and I could see the dreadlocks protruding through the hoodie near his ears. Ramosipili asked, which suspect are we talking about? Thwala said Shibiri made a mistake. The hoodie was worn by the second suspect. I have already said that the one with the dreadlocks was wearing a hat. He's now confusing the hoodie and the hat. I can't remember the color of the hoodie jacket, and the hoodie was covering his head. I could see the dreadlocks protruding through the hoodie in his ears. So he's saying that Shibiri wrote wrong there. Isn't that interesting?
I told you.
There are pictures of the sketches, and in those pictures, I think I posted them a couple of weeks ago on the community tab. One of the second suspect, in fact, with the hoodie, had protruding dreads. Right? So now he's denying.
I told you. This guy is gonna, everything that needs to be debunked is gonna debunk it in the very same court.
It's very interesting that people can boldly lie like that in a court of law. I wonder if there's any consequences for people who pull such stunts. We are yet to see and find out as the nation.
There are, if you are just a normal person, continue though, because this is a long one.
I can remember that the second suspect was wearing a hat, but I do not know the color of the hat. I didn't see the second suspect properly, and I cannot describe him or identify him.
While you continue, Emid, can you guys please like the video? It's 779. I see 300 on my side.
Thank you for the likes, guys.
Thank you for the likes, for those who have liked. But those who have not liked, can you guys like the video? Can you please push this video? Like, share the video. And yes, I see that someone is saying that they saw me in a certain conference. I can't.
I can see other places. A conference.
Me in a conference.
Not a conference. He wouldn't stay 5 minutes or 15. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Let's continue.
Thwala then said, as I said, there was a misunderstanding between me and Shibiri. I'm not scared of Shibiri. He confused the hoodie and the hat.
Yes.
Ramusipili said he was done with his cross-examination and had no further questions. Now it was Advocate Charles Mnisi's turn for his cross-examination. Started off by saying, you found Senzo in the house when you returned from the Ngaches. Thwala said, yes. Then you heard bangs on the door and you found that it was Tumelo. Then he said, yes. Thwala says he found Senzo lying next to the couch, which they had sat on with his feet towards the passage. He says even when Kaya Ngache helped him carry him to the car, he was in that position. Mnisi asked, you went to the Ngache's yard and you came back. Thwala said yes. When you came back, you found Senzo at a particular point in the house. Thwala said yes. Mnisi said, who is the first person you saw when you came back from the Ngaches? Thwala said, Kelly's mother outside. Who did you first see inside the house? Thwala said, Senzo. Mnisi asked, where did you see him? Senzo.
Where was Kumalo, by the way?
Kelly.
The girlfriend who was allegedly about to be wifed.
Yes, it's Tempo.
Was she still hiding?
Where was she?
Or was she sleeping? Where was she? Where was Kelly Kumalo?
In that.
Where was
Went
Kelly
over farm.
Kumalo? Because no one is bringing Kelly Kumalo.
Thwala pointed towards the floor in the sitting room. That's where he said Senzo was lying. Then Nisi asked, would I be correct from opening for Tumelo into the sitting room? Were you in his company? Thwala said yes. When you picked him up from there, was the Ngwache's neighbor there? Thwala said yes. The reason I'm asking you this is because we heard from Ngwache that when he got into the house, he found Senzo lying in the opening that leads to the kitchen, and he was alone there. Then Thwala said, did he say by the ark? Then I think the Ngache gentleman came into the house after me. I don't know whether he came in when I went to assist Tumelo. Mnisi then said, Mr. Ngache's son says he did assist carrying Senzo, but Senzo was lying there, not at the place you pointed, and nobody was helping him. Thwala said, without being disrespectful, his feet were on the mat, but his body was stretching to the passage. What I'm saying to you is not exactly what Mr. Ngache's son is saying. You said he was never on the sofas and he was never near the ark. Thwala said, without being disrespectful to the owner of the house, Senzo was lying on the mat there and his feet were towards the passage of the mat. He is very tall and that house is very small. So where he says he found Senzo, it is almost the same area. The passage and the sitting room is almost the same place. It would be a different story if he said he was lying in the kitchen. Now this is where I remembered the judge's interference in that joke he made. That joke caught up with us today. Because what? So you're saying that Senzo's feet were in the passage? Then the judge said, is it material whether Senzo was in the sitting room or towards the passage? Because the witness is saying he was shot. Even if he was lying in the bedroom, he was shot. And it's a small house. If it's material, then it's fine. You can continue on that line. Mnisi said, I'm not sure if the court has already made a prima facie view that it's immaterial. Mnisi has put it to the witness that he's tailoring his evidence as questions arise.
And that is true. That is, from where I'm standing, from where I'm sitting, that is true.
Okay, now this, I didn't expect it, but Mthogo is watching the proceedings, or was watching them, allegedly. Because how did that happen? How did that happen? How did he manage to take the judge's joke and it being in his testimony? Doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't, I guess.
Then Nisi said, you say you were helping him. Ngache says he was lying there and nobody was helping him. Then Thwala said, maybe that was when I went to assist Tumelo. I would not help my friend. I wouldn't not help my friend. So where he says he found Senzo, it is almost the same area. The passage in the sitting room is almost the same place. It would be a different story if you had said that he was lying in the kitchen. You said you were not in a position to identify the firearm. And Ms. Steenkamp said, however, you said the first intruder had a firearm which was an old revolver. Now, this is not the first time we're hearing about the revolver.
No, not the first time, and not going to be the end.
Is that what you told her? Thwala said, I don't remember saying that. She made mention of that name. You are saying she introduced the revolver word. Then Thwala said, yes. Mnisi asked, what is it that she tried to find out from you? And Thwala said, that's a good question, but you are putting it to the wrong person. You should put it to her. Mnisi then said Brigadier Gininda in an affidavit said that one of the intruders with dreadlocks had a firearm, which was a revolver. The state objected and said that the affidavit should be produced and shown to the witness. Mnisi said that the affidavit by Gininda was commissioned on the 3rd of October 2020. And Mnisi said,
in a sense, there was that amusement that I saw around the NPA and the judge when seemingly at the time it was looking like Mnisi was not going to be able to produce that.
Yes.
And then when he produced it, they shifted it. No, we just want, I think he said he wanted you to give it to witness. What does it matter that I give it to a witness after I've read it on the record? And you said that when I think it was an interpreter was trying to say something, you reprimanded him. The judge reprimanded him. Said he said it on record.
Yeah, say it on record. It was a date. It was with regards to a date. He didn't want to mention the date from the document he was reading. And then the judge is like, no, put it on the record. But then this was very interesting because even Mnisi approached the argument in a manner of, are you guys accusing me of lying?
Yes.
Are you accusing me of lying? Are you saying I'm making this ish up?
Is the state saying that is basically not
lying?
Existing?
Yes.
It's not existing. It doesn't exist.
Oh my God, I just felt that one. I was like, yo. I'm like Advocate Ndisi. I was even...
Because that's where it was going. And then it turned when he produced it.
I was tense because I was like, why are they accusing him as if he's lying? And he kept flipping through and I'm like, yo, you better find it.
Exactly.
You better find it. You better find it. No way. You need to find that testimony and that affidavit. So glad he found it. And yes, Brigadier Gininda did mention that there was a revolver involved with the first suspect. So Mnisi asked Mthogo if he had a comment. And Thwala said no comment. Gininda will come and testify. Says the editor. Another jokey moment. that I didn't find funny. But I could hear the tone of the voice that I think he's shocked or thrown off guard, in my opinion.
Yeah, it sounded like thrown off guards.
In my opinion. We don't know, Pell.
All we know is that some of those things, they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Guys, just like the video, please, guys.
It was
300.
now finally Ngumalo's turn. Oh, God, let me quickly go through Ngumalo.
Ngumalo didn't want to start cross-examining because
Today.
he wanted to go prepare. So today it was an issue of wasting time.
Oshoanje.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like a drag as well. So they asked him, how did you meet Senzo on the 25th of October 2014? Then Thwala said, after the game, we met at the Suits. Ngumalo said, did you arrange to meet Thwala? Then he said, yes. Do you remember the number he was using then? Thwala said, I think it was a Vodacom, but he was using 2 numbers. So Ngumalo read out a number in court, and Thwala said, yes, I think that was his new number. So he apparently was having issues, drama with the journalists and stuff. It was around that time when Kelly and Mandisa were just going back and forth via the magazines and stuff. It was a whole lot of a tabloid mess. So Ngumalo said, what was the number the deceased used on 26th of October? Thwala said, I think so. You told this court you accompanied Tumelo for a smoke. Then Thwala said, yes. Had Longwe arrived? Thwala said, yes. We are looking for an affidavit by Colonel Lambertus Steyn, the SAPS cell phone data analyst, the one who just testified last week and on Monday.
Yeah.
The SMS sent by Longwe to Thwala read, Senzo is dead. They just shot him in front of us. And Colonel Lambertus Steyn had an opinion on this one, and he concluded.
Can you imagine? This is the same narrative that people like Hariner and what is this? UVF, something like that. Afroforum, actually.
Afroforum.
Yes. They are sitting on a position of saying that these people are right people, there's a mastermind. Because I heard this spokesperson talking about it. It's heading to the right direction. Our Harinel, that's what our Harinel said. Like, honestly speaking, these people, as if they do care who's arrested, as long as I don't want to say these things. That's an old way of doing things. That's how things were done in an old way. You know, the way there were no rights for certain people. That's how things were done.
Now we need proof beyond reasonable doubt.
So this guy watches the SMS and is like, no, he didn't do it.
And concludes and puts an opinion, honey. The confidence of it all. The lever.
Like, what time was that SMS, by the way?
I think it was after the incident. It was on the night of the 26th. I don't know whether it was 10.
The time is important.
10.
Time is of important because you know why?
I didn't include it this time around, but I think it was 10.
If he took a phone when he was running, as he said, he had a freeze phone, according to the interview, eventually I think we would take the story of having your phone with you running out. I would expect that SMS to go out around 8:05. If that thing happened at 8, as you ran out, and when anything beyond that, after an hour, 2 hours, that thing shouldn't be a conclusion of you not to have done that thing. You see, the time frame between the incident happening and it should be such that it is like very minimal. But if it's huge, you've gotten time to think about things.
Well,
That's
Colonel
allegedly.
Steyn, SMS or opinion, said the SMS download from Longwe Thwala's phone shows that he didn't shoot him. Ngumalo asked, what would be your opinion of this SMS? And Thwala said, I don't have an opinion. Is it your evidence that when the deceased was shot, Longwe had left? And Thwala said, yes. I put it to you that it is contrary to what he sent to Thwala 2. So the person or the message went to Thwala 2. So Thwala said when it happened, he was out. Longwe must come and explain what it means. So Nxumalo asked, when Longo was interviewed by Steenkamp in 2014, Longo said he witnessed the scuffle and only ran out after the first gunshot went off to get help. Then Thwala said, let him come and explain. Now, on the ID parade from 2014, Nxumalo asked, Zandi Khumalo pointed a person carrying number 2. Her mother pointed someone carrying number 11. Zandi confirmed that the two are not before the court. Now, on ID parade in Pietermaritzburg, you remember you said the person you pointed out is number 4. Then Thwala said, yes, he had similar features. Are you saying that the person who I pointed out and the ones pointed out by Zandi and her mother are not the same? Nxumalo said, yes. What I'm saying is that the features are not the same. Thwala said, we see things differently. Baloyi objected to say that it is not fair to be put to the witnesses. Others pointed out other people. But you are all looking at the features, and the features are the same. He's asking about the features, wasn't he? So Thwala said, we see things differently. I will only comment on the pictures pointed by me, not what others pointed.
Yeah, Andy's Ndlanzi is saying that who's Dinovo? Oh, Dinovo is starting afresh.
It's the trial we are currently in. It started afresh.
Whatever that was said previously is forgotten.
It doesn't matter. So when we say before Dinovo, just think I'm talking about what I heard in the previous testimony of Mthogo before we started afresh. Yes. Then Nxumalo said, you and other witnesses have tendencies of pointing out innocent people willy-nilly. Thwala said, with all due respect, it is not a tendency. I rectified my mistake. I said he had similar features. It's them that pointed out these people. Then it is a tendency to them. It's not a tendency to me. I put it to you that one of the people inside the house shot the deceased. He didn't shoot himself, nor was he shot by the children, nor that he was shot by the intruders. Thwala said, I don't know what to say because I said Senzo was shot by one of the intruders. It means we will sit here another 9 years. No, we haven't been sitting here for 9 years, Mthogo. We are sitting here for 2 years now. Is it 2 or 3? This is the second year.
I think he meant the case will be prolonged. That since 9 years we haven't found people that have shot. If we don't sort of convict this one, is that what you are saying, Thwala? That if we don't take these ones, then we will sit another 9 years.
9 years, saying the same thing. Then the judge said the question is ambiguous. Nxumalo had to repeat the question. Then Nxumalo said there were no intruders there. He was shot by one of the people who were inside the house. Thwala said that's not true. There were 2 intruders. I don't understand why you think I would protect someone in the house over my friend.
You're never a friend. Allegedly.
He got extremely defensive in his tone right here. And at the end, there were intruders. That's what he's sticking to. What is the description you gave of the first intruder? Mthogo repeated that description to the T, even the cheekbones and everything. So Nxumalo was like, in your statement, there's nowhere where you describe the first intruder the way you describe them in this court. Thwala said, sometimes I say narrating a story is not the same as when you are narrating it at the police station. They just write. It's not like here where Mr. Baloyi asks me and I explain in court. Then there was an adjournment. The cross-examination will continue tomorrow.
I don't think Baloyi is good. I know that people think it's good. Everyone is good in their home ground. That's my thinking. Anyone can be good in their home ground.
Home ground advantage.
Yeah, there's always a home ground advantage. So
overall for me, Mr. Anonymous and you guys, I have to be honest. Senzo had friends that were more like leeches. They were always taking from him. They didn't give much back to him. It's sad what is happening. I never saw it coming, especially from Togo. With Tumi and Tumelo, I was skeptical, but I wasn't that shocked when it happened. But Mthogo is not only friends with Senzo, he's friends with Senzo's widow. You know? So I'm like, what was the point of the friendship?
If he is still a friend, I will be surprised.
You'll be
Because
surprised, ne?
yeah.
With how he's behaving.
If I
in
had a
court now.
woman who was my wife or my fiance, and something like this happened, and there was a common friend, I would expect her to cut that thing out.
Hi, if Umantis are still friends with Mthogo, I tread carefully. I don't know, but he's giving me vibes of he wants to benefit. You know, he's a benefactor in friendships. You know? Because this is really sad. I was expecting him to sing the same way he's singing about Buthelezi, about what happened to his friend. It's not happening. And by the looks of things, it will never happen. He would rather commit perjury.
And it looks like it turned, but it's alleged. I'm just going to say allegedly. And I don't want to even go deeper in defining Mthogo.
It's sad
because we're
for
going to
me.
end up saying things that we cannot reverse.
Yeah, let me stop here. But it's just sad. It's sad what kind of friends Senzo kept around. It's like he had people who just wanted to take from him. Take.
Look, guys, let me take two people. The lines are open. Two people. And then I'm out.
It's so sad, guys. You can call in and let us know what you think. Maybe he was also a bad friend. Do you think he was a bad friend to them?
Who?
Senzo.
Look, I don't know. I think he had nice life going, and then things happen. No, you never see certain things. You never see them coming, and you cannot always foretell what could happen next. So it's difficult to blame a certain person for certain things. It is difficult.
I wonder how Senzo's mother is doing. Even Sfiso.
It's very hard, but I guess we are here now.
Hearing all of this now and how it's playing out. Oh.
Zanzi Reality, hello.
Senzo really, how are you guys?
We're good, and you?
Yeah, I'm good, Chief. I was speaking to Bongs from Cape Town.
Yes, Bongs.
Yeah, no, man. Today, I don't want to focus too much on the proceedings of this case.
Yeah.
I want to highlight some points. If you remember everything Senzo Meyiwa, Senzo's brother, said, yeah, is displaying itself in court right now. Everything Senzo's brother said. I called last week, I said, you must listen to Senzo Meyiwa, not this Baloy guy. Because you see now, everything Senzo Meyiwa said is displaying itself in court, right in front of us. If you remember, you see, what Baloy is doing now is more like a football coach. He's doing what we call a tactical switch. Yeah. When you are playing a game and you see your strikers are not getting a ball, you have to overload your midfielder. Make sure you play double number 10 so that your strikers can get a ball. Baloy is dribbling people here. This is what he is witness. If you remember Zandi, when Zandi testified, she throw the stage under the bus. When Baloy brought in that same guy with his fake bombshell, people were taken away. But, hey, bombshell. I said, there is no bombshell in Mixla. Baloy was doing damage control when he brought that stage. He saw that there is no case. Zandi did a lot of damage to their case. Now he had to do some damage control and stabilize his case there and there. If you remember Senzo Meyiwa, that's why I said today I want to speak about Senzo Meyiwa. He said the people who are delaying justice for Meyiwa is Baloy and Kinindi. There is an interview he did with Colin Ram. He said Makubo and Joyce Buteles, they were ready to make arrest. And someone stole a statement in a docket. And after that, it took only 3 days and Makubo was suspended. That's what Senzo Meyiwa said. Live on national television. He was interviewed on 405 by Colum Gam. You can go and check that interview, you will find it. He even went on and said, you know what, those guys are just abusing my mom, because anyone who's telling me about these 5 guys, I just look at him, no man, don't take us for fools, man. Don't come and tell me about these 5 guys. You see now, the way Balo is behaving, and we talk today, he was there for a teaching, man. But I like what these lawyers are doing now. They are strategic also, because they realize this judge is harsh. You know what they are doing now? They are not doing long cross-examinations. They just go in and highlight some contradiction there and there.
Yeah.
They don't want to be back and forth exchanging what they think, because they realize, okay, this guy is on our next. When you come in, don't take so long. Just get straight to the point and highlight those contradictions. And I like what Missy did today, because he asked the judge, when the judge was doing this thing of interfering, he asked, is the court found this contradiction not prima facie? And the judge couldn't answer, because they are doing their job. It's their job to highlight those contradictions so that they can discredit the witness. Thanks, guys. Let me give others a chance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Hi.
Let me answer this. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi,
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
Yes. This is Malacela. I'm calling from USA.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
How you all two doing?
Tired.
Tired, ready to go.
Yeah.
Hey, we are tired.
Yeah.
How you doing, Sissy?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm. Le nna ko gona sa le 5:42 ka mo afternoon.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. I wanna take it short.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you guys every day, and I'm happy for everything you guys doing. These guys, what they're doing, they're just playing games with us. Because if you can look at cases in America, they don't play games with you. And then even this judge, they can say he's a good judge, he's a retired judge, and all that. The only thing killing us in South Africa is corruption. If you look at the whole thing, everywhere you look at the news, South African news, every day, everywhere, there's corruption. And then who's on top? The judges are the one gonna solve everything. Okay? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. Let's not forget, they said there's 2 intruders came in the house. Okay? Who was in the house?
It was Kelly.
Kelly Zandi, Mtogo,
Okay.
Tumelo.
All of that gang.
Okay, let's forget about the rest.
Yeah.
Let's look at the 2. Let's look at the 2. I don't care if Kelly Kumalo said Senzo became a celebrity because of her. No, Senzo was a celebrity himself.
He was.
Okay?
Yes.
So, do you think I'm a thief or whatever? Okay, I'm going to rob somebody. Who's a celebrity? Who's a celebrity? We're talking about 2 celebrities in the house.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to take only just two boys, one with a knife, one with a gun?
Nope.
It won't be that way. Because we know It's got exactly, exactly. It's gonna take a lot of planning because of what? We're talking about two celebrities. We don't know their bank statement or whatever, but we know they are millionaires. Okay? So we're gonna need like maybe 4 or 5 guys. We arrange everything. When we get in there, we need their cards. We need everything. Everybody open their mouth. We shoot the ceiling. I'm from Zanzibar. I'm from South Africa.
Yes.
I know how it is. It's just like now, you walk in town, these Nyaupe guys, they want to take your phone. What they do? They take a knife or a gun. What are you doing? You scared. You just give it to them.
You give it.
You just give it what? To save your life.
Yes.
And then now they're telling us 2 guys came, and then one, Senzo jump up and then go and face the guy. We are from Zanzibar. We know when someone take a gun, they mean it.
They mean business.
They mean it. I'm not going to lose my life over a phone. I'm not going to lose my life over money.
Nope.
But the way they're talking about, oh, yeah, Senzo approached them and all this. Hey, if I'm going to rob the 2 celebrities in the house, I'm going to come up with what? A lot of money. So we have to arrange this. As soon as I walk in, I said, everybody, I need the phone, I need the money, I need a wallet. I don't need money. I need all your wallets. And if they play around, you take everything out. Because we came here for business. We came here for business. And everybody will just throw their phones. And these guys take all that stuff and go. But the way they're doing, these 2 intruders, they were home, enjoying. It's like they went there for fighting, not to rob. That's all BS. All these people who come in and testify and all this and all, that's BS. People who go to rob, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And there's no way 2 guys, they know exactly we're going to rob celebrities in that house. They're going to plan it perfectly and say, hey, as soon as we get there, you do this, you do this, you do this. We don't play. And we don't waste time. We don't waste time. But they're talking about, what's his name? Longway stood up and really?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing.
Yeah.
And another thing. I cannot define people about their life. Okay, Kim Zanzi. You telling me, I don't know about Longway's lifestyle. Mzanzi, if you are a celebrity or your family is a celebrity, you gotta have to have a gun for protection. Even Kelly's a that, but she's about. So Longo ran outside. You telling me Longo didn't have a gun in the car? You run outside, you leave your girlfriend. You leave your girlfriend.
That I don't
No
know.
comment, I understand. Okay? But you see, the whole thing, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no, let's give others a chance.
We heard you.
We heard you. We hear you.
Thank you.
I follow you guys all the way. I'm from South Africa. I'm in USA. I'm from Limpopo. I love you guys and keep doing what you're all doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Nzima Lendaba. It's getting harder and harder with each day.
Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Guys, I'm gonna try to limit to a minute now.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, and you?
We're all good.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You know, I left work even to make comments on. I do make comments, but you know, today I was kind of very quiet because, you know, in Zulu there's something actually in Sisho that says "Libambe elentulo," and now this whole thing, it just, you know, actually, and you feel pity for these 5 boys. I wish I could just get in there, give them a hug, each one of them, and tell them we are on your side. We understand. You can see what is going on here. You know, the small things that they are receiving, the defense is the attack. For instance, if I may quote one, when Mthokozisi was being asked, Uguti, were these people aggressive when they came in? What was the tone of them asking for cell phones and money? Mthokozisi could not come out clearly on just that. It tells me a lot. And number two, yesterday, Mr. Ano, you said they claimed by Mthokozisi, him saying he was being assaulted. That should, you know, if someone can crack that one, look into. I made that comment yesterday. You know, that he was beaten. That if people could just stick on that, why were you beaten? Because it takes me back to Libambe Elentulo. The article, I will ever quote this article, the very first article that I read from Iso Lezo. It just, you know, I think if someone can sit on Uguti, why do you think we were assaulted? I don't know how they should sit on that. Yeah. Then they can crack Mthokozisi. Mthokozisi has the truth. Mthokozisi has the truth. He was Senzo's friend, and he in that article, the interview, the way it was written, there was no buying liquor, there was nothing. Kim and Senzo went to Teddy's mom's house because he had prepared a supper for them, and then they went in there. Zandi and Teddy were sitting, and then it was the fourth, and then Logo came in. Senzo was never involved in his stuff. I'm telling you. That's why I want a doctor here. I'm very much interested in the entrance and exit of the bullet in Senzo's body. That will help me a lot. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, guys. Oh.
All right.
Are we getting another caller?
I'm not sure, but if there's no one, I would gladly take this time back. Please like the video. Like and subscribe, guys. Yeah, it's okay.
Hi, guys.
It has been a long week.
Yeah, it has been, and yeah, this case is starting to affect me emotionally.
I don't know why you guys always devote emotions.
We can't help
just tired.
ourselves. We are women. We can't.
Mzansi, hello.
I'm starting to feel sad.
Mzansi, hello.
Depressed.
Mzansi, hello. Right. Well, guys, if there's no one, I think I know that many people are still going to call. They are calling, they are dropping. Some of them, it's like they are surprised that they went through. Yeah, guys, I don't want to prolong this. Load shedding, Ulundi at 1 a.m. Good night, teen. Good night.
Let's wrap it
Morolongwe.
up. Tomorrow is another day. Siyahlangana futhi, and we'll be meeting
It's
again.
Friday. I cannot
And it's
wait.
Friday.
Let us like the video, guys. I answered you. Hello, Mzansi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, we're here. You can shoot.
Emily ukhowepa lapho umuntu wejasta esebuya ngibona yabona nje ukuthi ukuthi kuba yikho angazi ngisebuza lento ukuthi where we go in cancel our part ukuthi ngile kakhulu azi ngisemsebenzini lapho hayi umndeni ngiyabonga
All right. All right.
Yeah,
C'est bon,
I
en
can
fait.
feel the
C'est bon,
energy,
c'est
like,
bon, c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon.
It's starting to hit like really hard now.
In all honest, I am tired. Thank you guys for being with us. I tried calling, but I guess you have finished. I'm calling from Israel.
Oh my God.
No, we were not finished. I answered almost all the calls. Some people dropped now, and I would gladly take this time back to get a bit of time so that I can drive wherever I'm going, and just so that I can go to work tomorrow. And yeah.
One last day of the week. Guys,
Go.
it's a wrap. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining the live stream. And tomorrow, same time, same place.
Bye. Hey, gag. Oh.